A lot of you really are lazy and you really don't want to do this. You really, really, really don't want to change your thinking about yourself. You want to blame everything on everyone else, like third parties or institutions outside of you you're angry about from your childhood, or your parents you're angry at, or the person who abused you, or whatever the fuck is going on in the outside world that you think is the problem that you're still angry at. You haven't changed you and you're still trying to change the thing out here and nothing will fucking change. And you'll be back here every week going, it hasn't changed. And I'll be saying, the outside is not the problem. The outside is not the problem. The third party isn't the problem. The institution isn't the problem. Your parents aren't the problem. Your money isn't the problem. You're the problem. Fuck me. There is no one to change but self. There is nothing to change but self. When you get that, guys, that everything is a deep reflection of you, a direct reflection of you, you'll think, what am I doing trying to banish the third party away for? What am I doing trying to get rid of this institution where my kids are still caught up in it or my parents are still caught up in it? Say you're a Scientologist, right? And you left. Okay, this is an example. You're in Scientology your whole childhood. Your parents forced you to be a Scientologist. You're like Leah Remini and you left. Okay, and you've lost all your friends. Your family is still stuck in there. Will getting rid of the Scientology church be possible? Probably not. Because that's trying to change the outside and that never works. So all that person needs to do is see themselves in relation to that thing, meaning they see themselves as a person whose family is no longer involved in that, whose friends that they had there are no longer involved in that. The Scientology church is the third party. But if you keep trying to banish the entire fucking church, that's not going to work because that's you blaming the outside for what's happening. All they need to do is see themselves directly in relation to that church differently. The people in their lives in relation to that differently. It's the same with third parties, guys. A church, an outside entity, a third party is exactly the same situation. If they saw themselves happily without that in their lives, everyone not having that in their lives, them being happy, wealthy, having control over their lives, that entity outside of them would make no difference to them and it would vanish from their reality. But trying to banish the entire reality is ridiculous. And that's what you guys are trying to do with third parties. You're trying to banish the reality outside of you, the girl outside of you that's taken away your SP, but that's not the fucking problem. Your SP didn't leave you because of that girl. They left you because of you. The anger and resentment you're holding on to about the Scientology church is poisoning your life right now, and getting rid of the church ain't going to get rid of all the anger and resentment and hurt and this fucked up my life and I hate my parents and they've done this to me and it's ruining my whole life thinking that's going on in your mind still, that's causing your reality to turn up shitty and you not be able to earn money or change anything in your life because you're holding on to the anger and resentment that you had before. Are you guys getting this? Third parties... Changing the third party is not the issue here. It's changing you in relation to that third party, the entity outside of you. And any of you trying to change an entity outside of you are doing this wrong. I tried to explain this to a person once and they got so fucking upset because they're desperately wanting to change the outside entity because they think that's the solution to all their problems. If you guys are thinking getting rid of the third party, the thing outside of you, that entity, is a solution to all your problems, you're not doing this right and you're not listening. You've got to actually do the fucking work and change you. If you guys aren't changing you, nothing will change. There is no one to change but self. Are you changing yourself? No? Well, then nothing outside of you will change.